Hello everyone, my name is Earamichia Brown, also known as Encyclopedia on the online internet community. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple decorative pillow. Now for this particular purposes I am going to use very fancy napkins. Now you can probably go to TJ Maxx or any other store, Marshall's, wherever you want to, your local fabric store, and get either regular fabric or get a couple of dinner napkins that, and they make wonderful sized pillows. So here are a few options that you have. You would need two pieces. So you would have your front and your back to utilize for a pillow. So this would make a wonderful pillow. Or if you want to go with something else, once again you would need two pieces of fabric, one for your front and another piece for your back. And in this particular piece, I am actually going to go with this one. So I have my front or back, but it'll be a two-sided pillow utilizing two dinner napkins. So for starters, when you have your dinner napkins, now that you've figured out what you want to use, let's talk about some of the things that you'll need in addition to the two napkins. First, we will need some polyfill, and that's to help stuff your pillow so it nice clumps up real nice. You'll of course need a pair of scissors because we will be cutting around to the size of our fabric. You will need a ruler, and I actually have this ruler, but any ruler will do. We'll be using needle, thread, or because you can either stitch it together by hand or by machine. So now let's get started with measuring our pillow. So now that we have our pillow, let's talk about our measurements. You can either have a 12 by 12, 16 by 16, 14 by 14 pillow, any size that you want, but in this particular demonstration I'm going to do a 16 by 16. Now because you are going to be sewing both sides all the way around the pillow, we want to add a 1/4 inch on either side, so therefore we will be measuring 16.5 square all the way around. So of course you would take your ruler and you would find where your 16.5 mark is and we'd basically line it up, and you would mark your fabric, and you would basically do this process all the way around till you have marked 16.5 inches all the way around, and then have your dimensions for your pillow. Then at that point you would of course take your scissors and you would cut around to the dimensions. Now I actually have one that was already done, so let's go take a look at that. So I have one that I've already stitched around and cut to size. Now as you notice, I have my coordinating size, and when I stitched around, what was very important is that you ensure that you leave a 3 to 4 inch space in which to turn your pillow inside out. So whether you're stitching by hand or by machine, you want to stitch around the edge and just leave that gap at the top to ensure that you can actually turn your pillow right side out. I also trimmed the edges. I happen to have a pinking shear at this time, but I trimmed around my edges just to ensure that there was less bulk when I finished my pillow. So once again, once you finish stitching around your edges, it's now time to turn the pillow inside out. Let's turn our pillow inside out. So you actually place your hand inside and you'll grab the furthest most corner, and you want to sort of pinch it in so that you can grab it and pull it through. Sort of like when you are, turning your clothes inside out after you've washed them. And we're going to pull the entire piece out and give it a little shake. Because what you then want to do is then you want to punch out all the corners so that you have your sharp points, and that's sort of the reason, why actually that we trimmed our corners, to ensure that we have less bulk and sharp pointy edges. So once you've done that, you can also iron your pillow just to make sure that your edges are flat. And then we will go to stuffing our pillow. Now, how much stuffing you actually use will depend upon the firmness of the pillow that you would like. So I'm actually going to stuff this pretty tight, and we'll see how fast I can stuff this pillow. So as you see, I'm stuffing the pillow, and when I come back, we'll have the pillow stuffed. So now I'm on my last piece stuffing my pillow. So now that we're done, you fluff it out, and we're going to stitch the opening closed, and you're going to fold it in like a little hem, and you can either do a blonde stitch or a simple stitch with some coordinating thread. And that is how you make a simple decorative pillow. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, please email me at e@cocktailsandthread.com.